first thing, I suppose, Ray, really, is to define what we're supposed to be talking about. And I think the title of what we're supposed to be talking about is English and American thrillers. Where do you get your material? I mean, these nearly always a Californian setting, isn't it? Has it ever not been a Californian setting?
Well, I lived many years in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles had never been written about.
Well, so far as my material is concerned, I'm afraid I just get mine by going to places and taking down copious notes, because I can't remember anything.
Yes, but you're an experienced journalist.
Well, I think that's probably the answer.
Yes.
I mean, I learned by writing.
Yeah, you can go to Las Vegas, and you can get Las Vegas in a few days.
I find, I don't know if you do, extremely difficult to write about villains. Villains, I find, extremely difficult people to put one's finger on. You can often sort of find heroes wandering around life and meet them, come across them, and plenty of heroines, of course, but the really good, solid villain is a very difficult person to build up, I think.
I don't think I ever, in my own mind, think anybody's a villain.
No, I think that comes out in the books.
You don't find anyone, really, that's all bad.
Now, do you think, I mean, so far as heroes are concerned, because your hero, Philip Marlowe, is a real hero. I mean, he behaves in a heroic fashion. My leading character, James Bond, I never intended to be a hero. I intended him to be a sort of blunt instrument wielded by a government department who would get into bizarre and fantastic situations and more or less shoot his way out of them, get out of them one way or another. But of course he's always referred to as my hero, but I don't see him as a hero myself. I think he's on the whole rather unattractive man. You ought to, I know, because then he would have more, I'd certainly write about him with more feeling and more kindness, probably.
Well, I think you did in Casino Royale.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, yes, he had some emotions at the end when the girl died, but that...
well, that's all right. A man in his job can't afford tender emotions.
Well, that's what I feel.
He feels them, but he has to quell them.
Yes.
Why do you always have to have a torture scene?
Well, you see, I suppose I was brought up on Dr. Fu Manchu and thrillers of that kind, and somehow always, even Bulldog Drummond and so on, the hero in the end gets in the grips of the villain, and he suffers. Either he's slogged or something happens to him.
Well, next time try brainwashing. That's probably worse than torture.
I think it is, yes. I don't like that. That's too serious. No, I agree. I think it's a weakness. On the other hand, you see, I think this so-called hero of mine, has a good time. He beats the villain, and in the end, he gets the girl, and he serves his government well. Well, in the process of that, he's got to suffer something in return for all this success. And, I mean, what do you do? Dock him something on his income tax? And while I think it's certainly a criticism of my books that it comes in too often, I think my so-called hero has got to suffer before he gets his prizes at the end of the book.
Yes, he's going to suffer a little, that's true.
Yeah.
But...
not too much. He doesn't get hurt in the next book, which I've just written. Much.
Have you?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Goldfinger.
Which?
Goldfinger.
How can you write so many books with all the other things you do?
Well, I sit down and I have 2 months off in Jamaica every year. That's sort of in my contract with the Sunday Times. And I sit down and I write a book every year during those 2 months. And then I bring it back.
I can't write a book in 2 months.
Well, but then you write better books than I do. One writes about what one knows, of course. Well, my chap, I suppose he's got some foibles that I've got, but I wouldn't have said he had any relation to the person I think I am, but there it is.
Can you play baccarat as well as he can?
Not as well, no. I'd like to be able to. I love it. I love gambling. But anyway, thanks, Fred. It's been nice to see you again.
Well, I love to see you always.